It was supposed to be the biggest night in Aston Villa's recent history, a do-or-die clash with Champions League dreams on the line. But as fans filled the stadium with hope and the world tuned in for 90 minutes of drama, one decision shattered everything. With a single whistle, a referee changed not just the fate of a match, but ignited a controversy shaking the foundations of English football. Was it a simple mistake or a sign of deeper dysfunction? And is modern technology, meant to make things fairer, actually making everything worse? Tonight, we dive into the heart of the Premier League's most explosive debate. Are referees and VAR ruining the game? Or are they just the tip of a much bigger iceberg threatening the very trust that keeps billions glued to their screens? Stick around, because what you're about to discover may forever change how you watch football and what you believe about fair play. Let's rewind. For decades, the referee was an almost mythical figure on the English pitch. Respected, sometimes feared, always in the spotlight, but rarely a celebrity. Legends like Pierluigi Collina and Howard Webb commanded the field with steely authority. Their word was law. Decisions, even contentious ones, were usually final, and unless you were chewing over a dodgy offside in the pub, fans accepted that mistakes happened. It was all, as the saying goes, part of the game. But the stakes? They've never been higher. Premier League teams battle not just for trophies, but for hundreds of millions in TV money, global sponsorships, and, these days, Champions League spots that can change a club's future overnight. One wrongly disallowed goal can cost a city its pride and owners their fortunes. So, football did what the 21st century always does. It looked to technology for answers. Enter VAR, Video Assistant Referee. Introduced with promises of perfect fairness and fewer controversies, VAR was supposed to be the invisible hand that delivered justice. Every angle, every frame, every blade of grass under microscopic review. No more hand of God moments, no more missed red cards, just the shining light of objective truth. But as any fan will tell you, it hasn't quite worked out that way. Flash forward to May 2024, Aston Villa faces Manchester United. On the line is not just a match, but the club's ticket to Europe's most lucrative stage. In the 17th minute, Morgan Rogers finds the back of the net, a dream moment. But before the ball even crosses the line, referee Thomas Bramall blows his whistle. He believes Rogers has fouled United's goalkeeper, Altay Bayindir. The decision is instant, and crucially, VAR cannot overturn it. The whistle came before the goal, freezing the moment in time. The goal is chalked off. Villa's momentum vanishes. United seizes control, wins 2-0, and Aston Villa finishes a crushing 6th. The next day, headlines rage, not about a team's tactics, but about a referee's inexperience and a system's failure. Unai Emery, Villa's manager, stands before the press, his frustration barely contained. I spoke with the referee and he knows his mistake. I make mistakes every day, but this was a key moment. Behind closed doors, club officials are even blunter. It's not about the decision, insists Damien Vitigani, Villa's director of football operations. The problem is why the experienced international referees were not here today. The finger doesn't point just at Bramall, only 3 years into his Premier League career and with a yellow card rate 15% higher than the league average. It points at the PGMOL, the secretive body that assigns officials to every match. Why trust a rookie with such enormous stakes? But the controversy goes deeper than just one bad night. The VAR system at the heart of this debate is now in its 5th Premier League season. Every week, it watches over roughly 0.8 interventions per match, overturning only 6% of on-field decisions. Yet 72% of fans, according to one recent survey, believe VAR has made the game worse, slower, more confusing, less exciting. Traditionalists mourn the days of spontaneous goal celebrations, replaced now by anxious, drawn-out reviews. And fans aren't imagining things. A University of Birmingham study finds home teams enjoy a 5% uptick in favorable decisions, even with VAR, suggesting that old biases die hard. Meanwhile, the average referee is 42 years old, but over 60% come from the north of England. Remarkably, not a single official hails from London, a glaring lack of regional diversity. Mark Clattenburg, one of the league's most respected former referees, sums up the crisis. The speed of the game is too fast for some referees. It needs more support. On TV, Alan Shearer puts it even more bluntly. VAR is not the problem. The people using it are. Pressure is mounting from all sides. Every week brings fresh outrage from managers, players, pundits, and above all, from millions of passionate supporters. Fans who once argued about tactics and formations now debate camera angles, handball interpretations, and the psychological impact of waiting minutes for a decision. Social media magnifies every error, fueling distrust. In response, the PGMOL promises more transparency and better training. But former Chief Keith Hackett warns, referees are under immense pressure, and the PGMOL needs to provide better support and training. And as Pierluigi Collina, chairman of FIFA's Referees Committee, frequently insists, consistency in decision-making is key, and VAR should help achieve that. Instead, what fans see is anything but consistent. Some goals stand after questionable fouls. Others, like Villa's, are disallowed at the earliest hint of contact. Obscure handball rules, shifting interpretations, and mysterious lines drawn for offsides have left fans, players, and even coaches baffled. The result? Trust, the invisible glue holding the sport together, is fraying. Consider this. In a system designed to eliminate human error, mistakes still happen, just with more technology and less accountability. The case of Thomas Bramall, apologized for but irreversible, is just one in a long series of officiating failures. And as the stakes rise higher every season, so does the cost of those errors. What about the officials themselves? Most are seasoned professionals, with years of lower league experience. But top-flight matches now demand near-military precision, and, some argue, more diverse backgrounds and better psychological preparation. With zero London referees, critics ask whether the talent pool is truly representative, or if subtle imbalances affect decision-making on the biggest stages. Meanwhile, football's governing bodies debate grand solutions. Semi-automated offside technology, already piloted in Europe, promises faster, more accurate calls. Some pundits argue for a manager challenge system, like tennis or American football, where coaches could contest on-field decisions. Others push for strict public accountability, publish referee audio, or demote underperforming officials. Yet for all the talk of fixes, nothing touches the core problem. When trust breaks down, every decision becomes suspect. Gary Neville, former Manchester United star and now a prominent commentator, warns, the inconsistency of VAR decisions is eroding trust in the system. So where do we go from here? Is the Premier League heading towards a future of AI referees and instant analytics? Or can the human element, the intuition, the judgment, the feel for the game, still survive in a data-driven age? Aston Villa's heartbreak is just the latest flashpoint in a much bigger battle, one playing out far beyond any single stadium or season. And as the pressure mounts, one haunting question remains. Can the Premier League ever restore its lost trust in referees and technology, or are we seeing the beginning of a crisis that could change football forever? As the dust settles over Aston Villa's painful loss and the ripples of outrage spread across the footballing community, the story doesn't end with a single referee's mistake or one club's disappointment. Instead, it opens the door to a future filled with both uncertainty and immense possibility, a future where the very soul of English football hangs in the balance. Because what's really at stake isn't just one season's Champions League hopes, or even the reputation of a single official. It's the fragile trust that fans, players, and clubs place in the system. The credibility of Premier League officiating, built over decades, is being questioned in a way that feels more existential than ever before. What happens if nothing changes? We've already seen how controversial decisions can ignite social media firestorms, trigger club statements, and even prompt demands for legal action. But the consequences could be far more profound. Imagine a Premier League where every major match is overshadowed by suspicion, where every whistle blow is met with skepticism, and where headlines focus more on officials than on the players themselves. In this dystopian vision, the beautiful game becomes a battleground for conspiracy theories and bitterness, rather than a celebration of skill and passion. That erosion of trust isn't some distant risk. According to a recent survey, 72% of Premier League fans already believe that VAR has negatively impacted the flow and fairness of the game. Alan Shearer put it bluntly, VAR is not the problem, the people using it are. When legends of the game speak with that kind of conviction, you know the problems run deep. But it's not all doom and gloom. The backlash to high-profile errors has forced the Premier League, PGMOL, and even FIFA to confront uncomfortable truths. In fact, the coming years are poised to be some of the most transformative in the history of football officiating. Let's look at the opportunities ahead. First, semi-automated offside technology, a system already being trialed in international tournaments, promises to deliver near-instant, laser-precise offside calls. No more endless waiting for lines to be drawn or controversial interpretations, just clear, objective outcomes. The Premier League is reportedly evaluating pilot programs for introducing this technology within the next 2 seasons. Then there's the potential for a manager challenge system, similar to those used in tennis and American football. Imagine giving each manager the right to challenge 1 or 2 key decisions per game, a safety valve for those moments when even VAR gets it wrong. This wouldn't eliminate all controversy, but it would restore a sense of fairness and agency to teams left seething by referee blunders. Accountability is another crucial piece of the puzzle. Today, most referees operate in a kind of protected bubble, shielded from public scrutiny after matches. But with pressure mounting from clubs and fans alike, the PGMOL is exploring performance-based demotions and transparent rankings for match officials. Could we one day see referees fronting up to post-match interviews, explaining their decisions in the heat of the moment? Transparency isn't just a buzzword, it's rapidly becoming an expectation. Former Premier League referee Mark Clattenburg insists, "The speed of the game is too fast for some referees. It needs more support." Innovations such as open VAR communication, allowing fans in the stadium and on TV to hear the discussions between referees and video officials, could demystify decisions and foster greater understanding. And consider the deeper structural reforms, diversifying the referee pool, improving training standards, and even using advanced analytics to flag potential biases or inconsistencies. Did you know that 61% of Premier League referees currently hail from the north of England, with 0 representation from London? That's not just a quirky statistic, it's a potential breeding ground for unconscious bias and regional grievances. The risks, of course, are just as pressing. If reforms are mishandled or half-hearted, football could lurch into a new era of chaos. The more technology is introduced, the more complex the job of officiating becomes. Every new tool or rule tweak has a ripple effect, unintended consequences, new loopholes, and fresh controversies. Some fear that adding manager challenges or public referee ratings could undermine the authority of officials, turning them into scapegoats for every defeat. Yet the alternative, clinging to the status quo, seems equally perilous. The Aston Villa incident is only the latest flashpoint in a season of mounting frustration. Gary Neville's words echo with warning. The inconsistency of VAR decisions is eroding trust in the system. So where does this leave you, the fan watching at home or in the stands? What practical lessons can we all draw from this saga, and how can they help us navigate the years to come? First, it's essential to realize that football, like life, is shaped by human imperfection. No technology, no matter how advanced, will ever render the game infallible. As Unai Emery admitted after that fateful game, "I make mistakes every day. I made mistakes as well, and the players are making mistakes on the field, and sometimes the referee." It's easy to scapegoat the official or rage at VAR, but the bigger picture is about process and progress. The systems are only as good as the people running them, and the commitment to improvement. Keep demanding higher standards, but remember that real change takes time and honest scrutiny. Second, use these controversies as a lens for understanding broader trends. When you see a referee hesitate or witness yet another offside debate, try to spot the underlying pattern. Is the rule itself unclear? Is the technology clunky? Or is there a lack of accountability in the selection process, as Villa's leadership argued? If you're a coach or aspiring referee, embrace the lessons from these high-profile errors. Focus on communication, decision-making under pressure, and the importance of ongoing training. Pierluigi Collina, perhaps the most respected referee of the modern era, reminds us, consistency in decision-making is key, and VAR should help achieve that. Every match is a chance to learn, and ideally, to get better. Fans, too, have more power than ever before. Social media outrage can backfire, but organized, constructive feedback, petitions, club statements, direct communication with the PGMOL can move the needle. The recent push for open VAR audio was driven in part by fan demand for transparency. Don't underestimate your voice. And if you're just a lover of the game, frustrated by another headline-grabbing blunder, remember that football's enduring appeal is rooted in its unpredictability. Every bad call is part of that unpredictable mosaic, the heartbreak and the euphoria, the drama and the debate. As Christina Unkel puts it, the application of the laws of the game must be uniform to ensure fairness. That's the North Star, even if the journey is messy. Let's pull the threads together. Can Premier League officiating restore trust through technology and reform, or is the crisis deeper than a bad whistle? The answer for now is that both are true. The Premier League stands at a crossroads. On one side, the relentless march of innovation, semi-automated offsides, manager challenges, radical transparency. On the other, a stubborn resistance to change, fueled by nostalgia, tribalism, and fear of unintended consequences. The short-term path will be rocky. Expect more controversies, more soul-searching, and perhaps a few more nights like the one Villa endured. But the long-term direction is unmistakable. Technology and transparency are here to stay, and the clubs, regulators, and fans who embrace this complexity will shape the future of football. As for the secret fact we promised, behind closed doors, sources say that the PGMOL has begun a confidential pilot program that reviews referee decisions using AI-based video analytics, potentially revolutionizing how errors are flagged and referees are evaluated. It's not public yet, but if successful, it could herald the dawn of a new, more accountable officiating era. So, where do you stand? Should the Premier League double down on technology or reclaim the human element that makes football so unpredictable? Let us know in the comments. What's your solution? More gadgets, more accountability, or more patience? If you found this deep dive insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next investigation into the world of